Hi there. Welcome to episode 2 of the I Really Can't With podcast. We are your hosts, Fay and
Ci.
Love that. And we're glad to be back.
Absolutely.
It's been a bit.
Yeah. Happy Black History Month.
Absolutely happy Black History Month. And a very special shout out to our one listener in Alaska.
Thank you for tuning in.
We're so excited about you, whoever you are in Alaska.
So happy to warm your heart in the cold and be there for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bless up. Shit's been crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy week. I feel like we should just get into it. We both wrote down our 3 topics. Maybe we both will have written down the same topic, who knows, but we have 3 things each that we'd like to discuss today. I'm going to let you go first because I feel like I went first last time.
You know what? That's fine. I'll go first because I really do need to get this off my chest. Okay.
Oh my God. Here we go.
I don't know if you even know who Lil Uzi Vert is.
I do.
Okay.
He's a rapper.
He's very much a rapper.
Or he calls himself a rapper.
He does.
How good he is at that.
He does say he is a rapper. His song quality, I think, is up for debate.
Okay.
But Lil Uzi, aka Vision, aka Steven Universe.
Wait, did he claim these monikers for himself?
Oh no, this is what I'm calling him.
Oh, great. Vision. Okay.
Because
excellent.
Sir has put a diamond worth $24 million into his forehead.
It is absolutely. First of all, you're going to tell me this man can afford a $24 million diamond.
That's what I said. I was like, there's no way that this man's net worth is like that much. But apparently he's been paying this diamond off since 2017. So not only did he put this diamond in his face, but he couldn't afford to put this diamond in his face. Like, you've been paying this off for 4 years. And I think that's what's really upsetting me about this is because he's been paying this diamond off for 4 years and not one person around him, not one friend was like, hey, this might not be a great idea. No one said anything to this man. And now there's a diamond in his forehead. And
Vision style.
Like
his third eye.
Right. Like, I don't know.
Center of his forehead, just above his eyebrows.
Yes.
This man planned it out. Spent, what, you said 2014?
2017.
So spent 4 years paying this diamond off just so he could get it surgically attached to his face.
Yeah. 4 years, this thought has been on his mind. And not once did he or anyone around him think it was a bad idea. It's so stupid that I'm exhausted thinking about it. And I feel like, here's the thing. And then he posted on Instagram not long after that he would die if it wasn't taken out right. And this photo there was just a little thing of blood dripping down his forehead. And I almost immediately knew that he said that to deter people from snatching this diamond out of his face like Thanos did Vision in Infinity War, because that's exactly what was going to happen.
That's my question. Like, when this man dies, like, he knows his grave is going to get robbed.
Like, $24 million. You're going to get jumped, sir. Like, why would you do that? Okay? Honestly, they jump people all the time. Why do you have 24 million? It's going to be Ocean's 8 with this diamond.
Maybe he wants to get jumped.
Maybe.
You know?
Like, I mean, he's really sacrificing his life for this diamond. I will end on this note. I think he should see a doctor immediately.
For a lot more than just removing the diamond.
Not only for the diamond, but possibly for some mental issues. He needs to get assessed, and he needs to do that immediately and then reassess what he could have then done with $24 million. Maybe invest it back into the community. Maybe,
put out some good rap pay someone
pay
to
some good
put
producers.
out good rap music.
I know some people do enjoy his music. I know him.
You don't count yourself among them.
I know him best for his shoulder shimmies, which I think are very cute. But aside from that, it's a no for me. The whole thing is absolutely ridiculous.
I thank you for educating me. I had seen this, like I had read about it, but I didn't know that he's spent 4 years
paying for it.
Yeah. And that is commitment and dedication. And, it's just like, I want to know if this man has even had a relationship that lasted 4 years.
He has not.
Okay.
He is currently, or he was formerly dating JT from the City Girls. And I believe that is over. Could be, could be not. I do not care enough to look deeply into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I know you're absolutely done talking about this and like giving it any of your energy.
This crystal gem, I'm done with it.
This crystal gem that is a diamond.
Right.
So Free Britney.
Absolutely. Always and forever.
This is such a topic.
It really is.
I have thoughts.
Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking.
So, for those of you that are listening, if you haven't yet watched I don't know if it's like a documentary. I don't know if that's what you'd call it, but it's on like HBO.
I would call it a documentary.
Okay. It's on HBO. I think the New York Times did it.
Yeah.
And you should really watch it, educate yourself, form your own opinions. But basically, people are calling into question the fact that Britney Spears is still in a conservatorship and her father is still like in charge of everything. I thought, gosh, how did we get here? Well, I thought a couple things that were eye-opening in the documentary. Okay, no, let's start here. Do you think that she should still be in a conservatorship?
No, I don't. And
do you think Britney is capable of making her own decisions?
I do think that Britney is capable of making her own decisions, only because the fact that like this was like her idea. Like, what incompetent person could have like been involved in the fact that she's like exposing this conservatorship? Like, if she was really that far gone, like she would have never been able to put any of this together, never been able to talk to any of these people. I've seen less capable people living their own lives, honestly. I know it's controversial, but I mean, in freeing Britney, like you have to get her away from her family because they're all parasites.
Okay, so
even Jamie Lynn.
What an accusation. Wow, very strong words.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that she shouldn't be in a conservatorship, but I am saying that I think Britney had some serious mental health issues.
Absolutely.
That caused her to make some questionable decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Britney and Kevin Chaotic, the reality show that probably should not have been on.
It really shouldn't have been.
And personally, I think that she was in such a place mentally that she like needed someone to just like take control of her life, because like probably since 15 was when she went to New York, she had like, she had like a schedule. Like someone else was telling her what to do every day.
Oh yeah, she was on
from
a
like
pop star schedule.
100%, right? Back to back, like interviews, radio shows, MTV. Then you're in the studio, like, you're doing like dancing and like learning choreography, whatever, on top of everything else. So I think that there's more there.
Mm.
And I personally, I really like, I'm not saying she shouldn't not be under the conservatorship. Like, I think her dad needs to get out of there.
Yeah.
We've had enough failed businessmen telling us what to do. That
Oh,
was a little dig at number 45.
weak.
And I think that was like the most interesting point that they made in the documentary was that like Jamie like was never really with her. Like her mom was with her, like her mom cared about what was best for her. And like, finally, thank God her mom's like, "Hey, I want to be a part of like her like health decisions or like her mental health decisions,
Yeah,
whatever." But um I don't know. I want what's best for Brittany.
absolutely.
Brittany's wonderful.
So sweet.
I think she's a sweet and, kind person. I think it's like super shitty looking back, the way that she was treated, the questions she had to like answer, like people straight up asking her about her like I think he said like tits or boobs. There was a clip and he was like, "Oh, they're talking about your boobs or something." And I'm like, I'm sorry, would anyone say that to a woman, like, now?
Oh yeah, early 2000s, everything there
Oh
would be
my
canceled
god.
immediately. But like, yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, this is so sad." And it's like everyone had a hand in it.
Now, the one thing I will say is I think you and I can agree, we've always known JT was shit.
Oh my gosh. The way you read my mind, because I was gonna be like, "Can we agree fuck JT?"
Absolutely.
Haven't
Absolutely.
trusted that man since he exposed Janet
Do
at the Super
all of
Bowl.
us, literally all of us left her out to absolutely dry, like
While we let this noodlehead boy run
mhm,
around,
mhm,
okay?
mhm.
And also shame on Timberland for enabling him.
Also, like, can we talk about the fact that this man got caught potentially cheating on his
Not even
wife?
potentially, girl. Absolutely.
Okay, so
Okay.
allegedly, I
Allegedly.
don't need any
There are
more.
pictures, like,
There are
which we
pictures
will
of
link on the website. Like, there are pictures.
perfect.
Okay.
This man was allegedly cheating on his wife,
Pregnant
and
wife.
and in the same apology, he says, "Oh, also go see my movie."
Terrible.
Ye
Terrible. Terrible. Okay, I don't recall. You know what? He was in The Social Network and I was forced to watch that for school. But aside from that, I don't recall.
He's been trying the acting thing for a while, and it's
Yeah,
just not
give
good.
it up,
And
delicious.
he has also tried to continue to make music, and it's just not. Just stop it.
Absolutely stop it.
Sexy Back was great,
We thank you for the moment.
and unless you have any more absolute bops,
Keep them to yourself.
please,
Keep everything to yourself
he should absolutely come out and apologize. And I'm surprised he hasn't made a statement saying how apologetic he is.
about what happened.
Yeah.
Who would believe him? One, he's a terrible person. I'm glad everyone's saying that.
Mhm, mhm.
But yeah, he should come out and say like, "Hey, sorry for that's the only redeeming thing that he could ever do at this
She's
point."
actually tagged him in a couple of posts too. That's what a gracious queen she is.
Just so sweet,
So sweet and
so
like,
sweet.
oh, like I saw her like post something about like some shorts that she had on. And it must have been some inside joke, but she like tagged Justin Timberlake, and I was like, oh, did he respond? He didn't, because
Of
he's
course he
trash
didn't.
because he thinks he's like better than her, and it's like, actually no, sir, like she's better than you, and like you need to stop it.
She's our
Yeah.
queen of pop. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like no. Britney's iconic.
She deserves everything. She's the best. I want what is the best for her.
Absolutely.
And, you know, whether that's a conservatorship with her mom at the helm.
I think that would be good. I think the best thing is getting her mental health correct. And I don't think that that's happening because
I feel like the last time that she took a break, I thought I read somewhere that like her dad, or I think her lawyer, like Larry Rudolph, like actually was like, someone said something about like they need to like adjust like the drugs she's on.
yeah,
And it's like, yeah, of course she's on drugs. Like she's been fucking going since she was 15.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they
Um
need to get that correct. And I think once that gets correct, I just want Britney to be happy. However they figure it out,
Mhm.
however she's comfortable. Justice for Britney, because what not only her family and her lawyers and people around her are doing, but like what people, like we as a society, did. And although I was not of like any sort of functioning age at the point to contribute to that,
Mhm.
even therefore after, anytime someone would be like, oh, I'm having an '07 Britney moment, like those would still be things that like that's come out of my
Dicey.
mouth before, you know. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm having an '07, you know. It's like contributing to the fact that this woman is having a mental health
I
crisis
think
and
that
making fun of it.
I think that is like the hardest part too, is like in the documentary when they're like, oh, when they got those photos of her with the umbrella, right? Like we
Yeah,
were all like laughing, like, oh, ha ha ha, like she's crazy. And it's like, no, actually, like her ex-husband wouldn't let her see her kids for the second time. And
right.
like, regardless of what anybody says, like this woman has been on record so many times saying like she can't wait to be a mom. She, like that was like her goal in life. She loves being a parent, and it's like it's hard enough to like go through a divorce and then you're not seeing your kids, and like people are telling you you're acting a certain way. Like I just, yeah, I can't imagine. Like that's rough.
That really sucks. I hate all of that playing out like that. And I think that this, hopefully, I hope this is the catalyst going forward of everyone realizing that we as a society build and build and build and build and build and build and build women up.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they come crashing down, it's like a game of Jenga. We're knocking out blocks, and when they come crashing down, it's, oh, look at her now. Oh, we laugh. Oh, we make fun of her. But you built her up to be this thing so you could watch her fall the whole way. And I hate that so much, and it still happens to women all the time. It needs to stop, and I hope that this is the jumping off point for people to like realize that it's not okay.
Well, and I mean, I just want to give credit where it's due. Like, the creators of South Park made an episode about it years ago
Yeah.
and like called out like the way that society treats, these women pop stars that we like put in the spotlight. Um, so bless up to Matt Parker and Trey Stone. I think that's their names.
I
Matt and Trey.
recognize that, so I believe that is their names.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Very welcome.
That's a wrap
That's
on
a
Britney.
okay. Well,
What's your
speaking
Oh
of
my
bad
god.
movies,
Oh my god.
have you seen Malcolm and Marie?
Oh my god.
I would
Bad?
I would
I
like
thought you
to
loved it.
I would like to start this off by saying I'm
Here we
here
go.
for Zendaya doing whatever.
Okay.
Anything that she's doing, I will be here for. I will support. I don't know what was happening. So before the movie came out, I watched the trailer. I don't know what it was about. The trailer was very messy. I didn't know what it was about. All I knew was like Zendaya was in it. John David Washington,
Denzel Washington's son.
right? Who I call John David because we're just that close.
Okay. Glad
So
you know him like that.
yeah, so Zendaya and John David are in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will start by saying, didn't know what it's about. Love them. I love the fact that it was in black and white. Very much here for that. The movie itself.
I should mention I have not watched this movie.
You know what? That's okay.
Okay, great.
And
Keep
that's
going.
fine. So the movie was interesting.
Okay.
I like that it wasn't like a typical relationship movie. It wasn't like super over dramatic or like lovey-dovey. It was like very raw and real, which I was like, okay, that's cute. I hate the relationship portrayal in it. I hate relationships like that because it
Interesting.
romanticizes all of the bad things and like turns them into something that's like supposed to make your relationship stronger. But like in reality, like someone belittling you the way that like Malcolm did Marie, like doesn't love you. And I wish that we would stop shoving that down women's throat. Is like oh, this person is yelling at you because they want you to do better, or this person's yelling at you because they're like checking you and it's gonna make
No.
Okay, I hate the ride or die mentality. No one that loves you is gonna want you to die.
All right.
Or
This
suffer.
is giving me A Star Is Born vibes.
Oh my gosh, the way that we could talk about this, because you know how I feel about Gaga, and
First of all,
the way that she acts, you know how I feel about that.
Oh,
but it's just, to me, if your partner only does nice things for you to like use it against you later, or you get close to them and they shove things in your face that you said to them,
Oh, I
like
hate that.
mess. No, exactly. Mess. The movie was a mess. So basically the movie was about like a codependent toxic relationship and they both need therapy. Yeah. So you don't need to watch it. It was a miss to me only because it felt very
Toxic?
it was toxic
Promoting like toxic like relationship,
relationships.
like
Right, because
yeah.
they were together and so it was like oh, like you knocked me down, but I get back up and we're fine at the end of the day because I made you mac and cheese. Dumb.
Ooh,
Dumb. So here's the
dicey.
thing. It was mismatched to me, and I will say it until I'm out of breath. Love Zendaya. This role required Viola Davis range.
Interesting.
If John David did well, if the actress opposite him did better, then maybe Sam's script wouldn't have been so bad.
How interesting.
Yeah.
I heard there was a lot of criticism about her age.
It
Like
looked
people,
weird.
yeah, like a lot of people were like, "Ooh, she's too young to be playing this," and like she fought back against it. But like, I think the hard part is like, your age is one thing, but I think she still like looks very young in the face.
She
You know what I
does.
mean?
He first of all, John David is a whole man. Like he looks like very rugged. Like he has
Yeah.
years on him. Zendaya, like she looks like she was playing dress up. She looks like
Yeah.
she was playing dress up to be like an older woman. I would have loved, like, you know what? They could have replaced her with Zoe Kravitz and I would have been happy. Honestly.
You know how I feel about
I
Zoe
know how you feel about
Kravitz.
Zoe, but like Zoe or like Kerry Washington would have
Oh
devoured this
my
role. She would
god.
have shut
I
it down.
absolutely love Kerry Washington.
Exactly. But like that's the range that this role required.
Honestly, if I knew that Kerry Washington was in it, I would have watched it.
I'm so weak, same.
Like it's not like I haven't watched Malcolm and Marie, but like if I knew like absolutely John David Washington, but like
Yeah.
Oh my god, Denzel Washington,
John
David Washington and Kerry Washington. Could you like
the Washingtons?
the
No
Washingtons
relations.
in
Yeah. No,
Malcolm
she's
and
married.
Marie? No, she
Yeah,
is married.
that would have
Stop
been
it.
so amazing. And
So
I think that's the range that this role required.
I know Kerry Washington is like wanting to get into like producing and directing and like get it, girl, but I just need to see that face on my screen
that
again.
Lip quiver. I
need that first season of Scandal.
I need that level of drama.
Oh my god, everything and those coats. Okay. All right.
Amazing. But I just would have liked to see a stronger actress in this role. Zendaya is getting so much better, and I see her like coming into herself as an actress. This wasn't it for her. Had she not been the person to produce it with Sam, who also does Euphoria, which was a hit. So I understand why they're partnering up. Yep. I don't like it. I haven't watched all of Euphoria. I got through like half of it. But
it's a lot.
It's to me, the aesthetic is what makes it.
Yeah.
Not so much like the script, but like the aesthetic. And I feel, and I know you're going to understand this comparison. I feel a Sarah Paulson, Ryan Murphy situation happening with Zendaya and Sam. If we don't stop this, I'm tired of having Sam have our girl play a drug addict. It needs to stop. Okay. He's going to Sarah Paulson her.
Here's the thing. Before you get on this train.
Okay.
It's only 2 things that they've partnered on.
This is where it starts.
I know. And Sarah Paulson, if you're listening to me out there, get away from Ryan Murphy. Well, I can't talk too much crap because she did.
No, they're making another thing together.
No, oh my god. Okay, stop. Okay,
I'm ready.
Fine. No.
I really like American
Here's the
Crime
thing.
Story.
The American Crime Stories are absolutely fantastic.
Yes, so good.
American Horror Story is horrendous.
Now it is.
Absolutely horrendous.
Now it is. Coven is forever the best season.
Sarah Paulson, stop making American Horror Stories. Immediately.
And the fact that she and Jessica Lange are like the only reason people tune in, and people
do not forget my queen, Angela Bassett.
Oh,
She's only
period.
done a few of them, though. I
Yeah,
don't think she's in every
she's
one.
doing another show
That's
right now,
because
so
she's smart.
she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Sarah, get away from him. You were doing really well. You were in Goldfinch, you were in Ocean's 8, you were doing really well.
Stop it.
Oh, and that new movie on Hulu called Run.
Oh, I didn't
She was also in
see
that.
Run. I saw a different Run. That was a TV show that I really liked. But we can talk about that another time.
Okay, so I know what you're talking about. Is that on HBO?
It is.
I feel like I saw it. I stay on HBO Max.
It's absolutely fantastic. Domhnall Gleeson is in it, and I really have a crush on him. But that is not important. And going back to my original comment a few sentences back, we talked about Scandal, and I said, give me those coats. Speaking of coats, Anna Kendrick.
Oh yeah, Justin Timberlake's buddy. No wonder they're friends.
Are they buds?
They are friends. They've done those dumb troll movies together.
So, for those of you that may not know, I've always suspected about Anna Kendrick, but apparently she's not very nice. Apparently there was a stylist that was working with her and her PR person. They came in and the stylist was like trying to pick out an outfit for Anna Kendrick, and Anna Kendrick wouldn't even look at her, wouldn't even talk to her, turned to her publicist, and the publicist was like, yeah, we require 10 grand if she's gonna wear your clothes. And then at the end of this event, they have like 3 bags of like fan mail, whatever. And they're like, hey, like, here you go. Here's all your fan mail and like gifts, like freaking gifts that people like made and brought to give to Anna Kendrick. And she was like, yeah, I don't do anything with that. Just throw it all away. I never liked Anna Kendrick, but I was like, that's all the confirmation I needed.
Right. I never trusted her face. I didn't like her in Twilight. I don't care what anyone says. There's no point in which I've seen her face where I was like, yeah, I've guns in my head, aside from Pitch Perfect, could not name an Anna Kendrick movie. I don't know what she does.
Don't watch any of those.
So no loss over here, but what a bitch. Like you couldn't even pretend and take it home and throw it. You couldn't throw it away at home. Like,
I'm just not surprised. She's always seemed that way to me. Yeah.
I never trust her face.
So don't trust Anna Kendrick. Definitely don't trust JT, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to one of my favorite Instagram accounts. If you love celebrity dirt and gossip, Do Moi.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, fantastic.
So good.
That's where the original Anna Kendrick story was posted. So
it was posted on TikTok.
Is that where?
Yeah, it was on TikTok.
I did see it on TikTok because the stylist, God, I hope she keeps her job.
Oh my God, the tea. No, I don't think she does that anymore, but she's posted
She's at
again.
A different company, but she was like at my previous company, and sometimes the current company is like, hey, if you're talking this stuff, like, how do we know you're not going to leave our company and then talk stuff? So
I hope she doesn't get fired.
I hope she's fine.
Because I love the tea, and I love hearing about who's absolutely rude. I love when
there was a TikTok about JT being very rude to someone.
Oh yeah, the waitress.
Yeah, it was a very obvious.
Yeah, obviously it was gonna be him.
Allegedly it was him.
Allegedly it was him, but what a terrible person. They're friends and they work together, so I'm sure, birds of a feather.
Flock together. Yeah. Speaking of flocking, I think that's a wrap.
Okay, yeah, we can wrap it up on JT and Anna Kendrick being horrible. Now that the world knows, let's just leave that to them. Yeah, we'll definitely throw something on the website so you can look at that. So I want to get into my last topic of the day. God. So I don't know if you've heard or you've been watching the struggle, but woman, as you should be.
Oh my God, I know what this is about.
Literally. So About a week ago, a woman by the name of Tessica Brown turned to social media because she was having a little bit of an issue. Okay. And you know what her issue was? She used Gorilla Glue to lay her edges. I don't think you understand. I don't even like using Gorilla Glue for what it's actually used for because that shit is strong.
Okay.
I try to not use Gorilla Glue ever because I don't want it sticking to my fingers. I don't want it sticking to anything in my home. And this silly bitch used this Gorilla Glue to lay her edges down.
Okay. Oh my God. I'm like, so I've seen this story in the news, but like I didn't follow it because I was just like, as soon as I read like woman uses Gorilla Glue like on her head, I was like, and I'm out. Like you absolutely took a risk, ma'am, and it did not pay off. Shocking. And I'm out. But
oh my gosh.
I feel like why?
Here's the thing.
Was she trying to be cheap? Was she trying to not?
She ran out of her like edge spray. So there's this thing called Got to Be Glued, and it's what Black women use to like lay their like lace fronts down, their wigs, their edges. Yeah, it's in like a yellow can.
Okay,
right, and it looks like the spray nozzle looks almost the same as the Gorilla Glue. So she ran out of that, and instead of looking for gel. Instead of
just going to the store.
Instead of maybe going to the store, she decided, oh, you know what, glue. And she did that. And my thing is, and what I feel like people are missing because they're like, oh, we got to help her. What can we do? We're in the middle of a pandemic. Where could she possibly have been going that her edges need to have been laid to the gods? Can someone let me know where she needed to be like casket sharp to? Because what was she doing that she needed to lay her edges down that much? Like, I understand she wants to keep a slick ponytail, but was it that important?
Apparently it was.
No, I don't.
Girl, did you not have a hat?
You couldn't
to
have
throw up.
I literally do not understand.
I'm not Black, and I don't know if it's like maybe you're so used to having to put, but like the thought of like me putting anything on my scalp, anything that says glue is like already kind of dicey, but like Gorilla Glue.
And here's the delicate thing about this, because glue in general, like early 2000s, punk rockers used to use glue to like spike their hair up. Cool. Drag queens use glue on their eyebrows.
Probably like Elmer's glue or some
exactly.
shit. Like not
non-toxic.
Fucking Gorilla Glue.
But here's the thing. When you're laying your edges like that, there's not a possible way that you can get them laid the way that they were laid for her without touching your head. So she had to have put something, gloves, a fucking shopping bag, anything over her hands for it not to touch her head. So like she knew
that much.
She knew that much because there's no way without touching that could you have done that.
So she put, okay, so we know that she put the Gorilla Glue on her head. Mm-hmm. What happened next? Like, at what point was she like, oh, this was a mistake?
I'm sure, and I'm gonna have to tell you immediately, because before she even turned to social media, I think it had been like a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I literally don't know anything about the story, so.
And at no point did she think,
last month?
Yeah. And she said, she was like, I can't, like, I've washed my hair 15 times. It's not coming out. And I'm not saying I'm the most logical person, but had I made that goofy ass mistake, the first thing I would have done is jumped on Madam Google, because it is free, and been like, what gets Gorilla Glue off? and the results would have pulled up Goo Gone. And I would have been like, you know what? I'm on my way to Lowe's and I'm going to go get some Goo Gone. Okay? I would have further read the back of the Gorilla Glue and saw that it's water activated and maybe not washed my hair. Maybe said, you know what? Let's keep the water off of it. So every time she's washing her hair, this water, this chemicals, it's just tightening onto her scalp. And I wish that this was the worst part.
Oh my God. Oh
Apparently, this woman runs a daycare.
Oh no.
When I tell you, I would swiftly withdraw my children because obviously she has judgment issues.
Girl, what else are you using that Gorilla Glue for?
Like,
kids are acting up, Gorilla Glue them to the seat.
Just throw them to the wall. Like, what are you doing? This is the kind of thing that I'm just like, okay, you had a lapse in judgment. Don't know where you were going in the middle of this pandemic that you needed your ponytail like that. And I will say the ponytail did look good. Her edges were absolutely laid.
I need to see this.
Forever. I will absolutely show you a picture. I have to take deep breaths because what?
So I think from what I've seen, like it's a whole like thing, and she like had to go to the hospital or something.
Yeah, so she went to the hospital and they were like, here's some saline and stuff and like acetone or whatever, you do that. And she like took it and went home, obviously, because
the doctors were like, we don't want to have a part in anything.
Right. She did volunteer to go home, and it's like we're in the middle of it. Like, of course, like if you're like, I'm gonna go home and do the surgery, like, yeah, leave. Like, people are sick, like actually. So they did try to do that.
Oh my God.
She is okay now. Like, update. It's out. Like, as of today, she's been freed of that glue helmet, and she even got to keep a little bit of her hair. So good for her.
She kept some of her hair.
Some of her hair she did
I thought I read that they like had to like surgically like.
No, she went into a doctor and a doctor worked on her to get it off. And when he was done, she still had hair. I do think that she should probably shave it. There's no way it's viable. She needs to go ahead and just throw it away and start over.
I want to check back with her in a few months and see if her hair grows back.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be hearing about her because word on the street is that she is talking to some people.
No.
Yeah.
She's talking to Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, about mistakes. She's talking to some people about possibly suing Gorilla Glue, which she will. You
are joking.
She will never win, and I hope they advise her against it.
If this becomes a McDonald's having to put caution, contents of this cup might be hot, like, I'm going to lose my mind.
No. It will never be.
Like, girl.
Because Gorilla Glue has already swiftly put out a statement that was, like, basically, like, you knew good and well. It was, like, it says not to put on your skin.
Girl.
Like, come on now. Like, Gorilla Glue put out a statement, and they basically were like, you know good and well that's not what that was supposed to do. It's on the can. It's on the can. Not specifically hair, but skin. And your hair is a part of your skin.
She absolutely tried.
Yeah, she's never going to win that. I hope she doesn't do that and waste her little GoFundMe coins.
She's probably trying to put that out there so that they'll just, like, settle or something. Because some companies will just be like, you know what? Like, we don't need all this. I mean, I don't know. I think Gorilla Glue is here to have its moment.
Oh, Gorilla Glue's like, lawyers are going to glide in that
If this isn't
courtroom.
A part of their advertising, like, this is how good our fucking glue shit is, then, like, yeah. I don't know.
Right. They need to get into the business of making
hair
anything, products.
She should, instead of suing them, she should be their spokesperson.
Right. Like it works
so good. Because you said initially her hair looked really good.
It was laid, like it was absolutely
with
laid.
The Gorilla Glue.
She could not run clippers across it. It was laid. It was not, because I would have went straight to the clippers. I go to the clippers for no reason sometimes anyway. Like I would have gone straight to the clippers and been like, it's all gone. But no, she couldn't. She was tapping her hands against it. It sounded solid.
She tapped her hand.
Yeah. It sounded very solid. So she could not even run clippers through it. Exactly.
I'm just
absolutely stupid.
I just have no words.
Oh.
Like, she tapped her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knocked on it. So
okay.
That's a thing that she's dealing with no longer, but consequences probably prolonged. Yeah, I have nothing for it. I have no words for her situation.
It's 2021.
Yeah. It's literally 2021 and we're still doing this dumb shit. There's no way. I'm sorry. Do you ever wake up scared because you're like, wow, there are people like walking around this earth with no clue what's going on. Mm-hmm. Nothing up there.
Oh, too often.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, that's enough for me. That's
you're
on that note.
Like, your energy is just depleted from even thinking about this woman.
I'm doing mental gymnastics.
What was her name again?
Tessica Brown.
Tessica.
Yep.
I know.
Glad you're free.
I honestly have no words.
No words.
So I'm just gonna move on to our next topic.
Take us home.
Oh, this is a tough one. This is a tough one for me, guys. Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon. I feel like I just said something very quickly in Swedish. I did not. I am referring to the creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Iconic. That show is
absolutely iconic. I'm going to look up. He's done a lot. Like Angel.
Yeah.
He's directed a few Marvel movies.
Yeah.
No.
In the DC, like in the comic book
realm. He did DC, and then
he's done a lot of that.
Yeah, he's
done
some
shows too.
No, he directed the Avengers. Or no, he was a writer on the Avengers. He created Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, he did the Justice League thing. He wrote Avengers, Age of Ultron. Like, he was a writer on that. Joss Whedon. So a very big name. And I grew up loving Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes.
What an amazing, like, strong female character who is a badass, but also, like, a girl dealing with girl stuff. And Joss is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Came out
from many accounts.
So that is what's crazy, right? Like, so we know for a lot of actresses, there's a big fear of like coming out against them, because you're afraid that you'll get blacklisted, and then also they'll kind of gaslight you and brainwash you and make you think like that they're doing this to like make you better or whatever. Like that was part of like Charisma Carpenter's statement, is that she felt like she still, I think, makes his behavior okay in her head, which like she spent quite a few years in therapy, like realizing no, this man mentally abused her. So sad.
It is so sad. I hate when this comes out like years and years later. I hate that it takes, and Michelle Trachtenberg said something too. She was like,
she did. Yeah. Like, so she was like 15.
Yeah.
And she's made some statements that were like very cryptic, but she's like, we know what he did behind closed doors. The whole thing is just like very interesting, right? So like it kind of kicks off with, I think his name's Ray Fisher. He was Cyborg in the Justice League movie, and he kind of came out and he was like, Joss Whedon like made it a very toxic set, and he was just like super unprofessional, and that launched an investigation, and then Charisma Carpenter, and so it launched an investigation, and then WB was like, no, like he's innocent basically. Like no one wanted to like come forward and say anything. Really, was what, and like Ray Fisher was right. Like, you know, they always say like, oh, we're going to hire an independent company. Nah, girl, it's not like who's paying that independent company? Like
Exactly.
WB, right? Like, of course, they have a vested interest in, you know, siding with the people that paid for them. So I never really buy that, nor should you. Anytime anyone's like, we're going to do an independent investigation, my ass. But so he kind of, I feel like Ray Fisher got blackballed a little bit. And then fast forward a couple months, and then Charisma Carpenter's releases a statement. She worked on Buffy the Vampire Slayer for a few years. And then when they did the Angel spinoff, she was like the co-lead on that show. And then all of a sudden, like, got demoted and like written off the show. And everyone thought it was like really strange because, you know, at this point she'd been on 2 of his shows. And it just seemed kind of weird. And so she comes out and basically like details how this man was like so shitty to her and like retaliatory and called her fat and, you know, did and said all these horrible things. What's crazy is, and so she, you know, she feels really guilty and she's like, I want to support Ray Fisher. Like, I need to tell my story because like he's getting shit on and, you know, that was me and I didn't have the courage to come forward back then. And she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can't believe she didn't have like a huge career. But I did some research and it turns out like this is not the first time. Like Joss Whedon's wife came out and was like, he's a piece of shit. He had multiple affairs on the Buffy set. Never specifies with who or anything like that. But she like had come out and like written out a whole statement about like how shitty he was to her during their marriage. Like I think they were together for like 20 years or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know how done you have to be to write a statement after 20 years?
Oh, he had multiple affairs, like multiple, and like somehow like convinced her to like stay with him. And then finally she was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Insane.
And then Sarah Michelle Gellar put out a statement, a very carefully worded statement.
Yeah, it sounds like from your tone, it sounds like it was a light statement.
It
was a little lacking.
I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying to remember what she said specifically, but it was just like very much like, okay, here's what she said. While I am proud to have my name associated with Buffy Summers, I don't want to be forever associated with the name Joss Whedon. I am more focused on raising my family and surviving a pandemic currently, so I will not be making any further statements at this time. But I stand with all survivors of abuse, and I'm proud of them for speaking out.
So very shitty.
Yeah, very much a
safe.
Leave me out.
Yeah, like keep my name out of this.
Buffy's iconic, you know, and I think like Buffy's iconic. The work that she did there, iconic. You know. But it's like very clear she's like, yeah, like just remove my name.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think what's interesting is now when these things come out, you look at the people around that environment and you're like, well, where were you? Yeah. Where were you? Where were you? Where were you? So we haven't heard anything from David Boreanaz, who is the lead on Angel. But Michelle Trachtenberg came out and made some very cryptic statements.
It's always the women. And I hate that. It's always the women who are like, yeah, this thing happened. I support you. And the men are like, it's like, because you enabled this to happen. Like, you saw this happening and you didn't say anything.
Giles on the show was like, how could I have missed it? And it's like...
I guess that makes sense. Abusers are like very good at abusing directly at the person and not out loud.
So that is one of the interesting things is like all of this. I mean, you know, I think like some of it could have been like back then the culture was very much like treat women however, hush hush.
Very
and
Harvey
like
Weinstein era, like make jokes on TV about it kind of thing.
So it could have been that. It could have been that he was a very covert like abuser.
Yeah.
Like he would do it behind closed doors because again, like he had this very like I'm a feminist. I love women. I'm all about writing these strong female characters. And so I think a lot of people believe that.
What a psychopath.
It's sickening.
It's like psychotic. Like, why would you do that? And of course, first of all, and a side note to this, WB needs to absolutely stop what they're doing with DC because Margot Robbie and Gal Gadot are holding the whole franchise on their back, and they're letting these horrible men make these movies. Like, I can't. Like, they had to beg for a director's cut of Justice League. Like, just stop everything. Like, this is your time to absolutely...
A 4-hour movie.
Exactly. Like, just wash everything away. Take Josh and put him somewhere in a basement where he belongs.
It's just...
Jail.
You know, I think what sucks is it's like, you know, you truly, like, obviously he's a shit person, but, like, the characters that he wrote were pretty iconic.
Yeah.
And it's very rare, right? Like, there's always that joke, like, whenever men write for women. And it's just like, God damn it, Joss Whedon. Like...
Can't believe he's done this to us.
Yes, like, you've done this to us. I mean...
Another one. It's just, at this point, anytime someone's like, oh, a man in Hollywood, like Chris Pratt, everyone used to love him. He was funny. And then we found out he was a psychopath Republican. So, you know, no one's safe except for Chris Evans. That's it.
Chris Hemsworth, I think, is like pretty safe. Yeah. He's pretty like clean cut. I think he's a family man.
Out in Australia doing his thing.
Yeah. Chris Pine. Steve Trevor. He doesn't really do it for me, but Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Steve Trevor.
Now I was like, who is that man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Whedon has not yet put out a statement.
I'm sure he's scrambling.
You know, yeah.
To make up some sort of lie. Victim blame.
We'll see. We'll see if he goes the Army Hammer route.
I don't think anyone should go the Army Hammer route.
We'll see if he pulls the hammer. But all in all, like, very sad for, like, you know, it's amazing that Charisma Carpenter came out and it was, like, very beautifully written and, like, props to her. And, you know, I wish her the best. Just like Britney. They're queens.
Absolutely.
Let's hold them up. Now get her some TV shows to be on because she is a beautiful woman.
Please, I'm sure ABC is churning them out. Someone, CBS, reach out to her. But yeah, it's not that I'm mostly sad that like shows that I like grew up watching are like now low key ruined. But it's like it's so consistent, and the whole like separate the art from the artist. It's so hard for me because it's like every time I look at this, I'm gonna think of like they would call cut and they would be getting like mentally abused, and I just like can't.
Yeah.
I really can't.
I have not watched an episode of The Cosby Show, which I dearly loved.
Oh my God, so far. I haven't.
Since someone should like go back and just cut all of like Bill Cosby's scenes out of The Cosby Show.
And just leave Claire.
Everyone else. And Lisa Bonet, because she's everything.
Period, yeah. Absolutely. That would work for me.
Can someone do that? Whoever's listening,
oh my gosh.
Can you do that?
The way it's out of syndication too. Yeah, it's what a mess.
Did they pull it?
I haven't seen it anywhere. Well, not that I was looking for it.
Listen,
either.
At least we have The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh my gosh. Every day I wake up and I'm like, Will Smith.
So fantastic.
Don't you ever let me down.
Oh, he better not.
Okay.
I mean, we don't need to. That'll be for another episode.
No.
We're going to touch on that. So we're going to wrap up this episode.
Yeah, that's for another day.
Debate for another day.
So funny because I was thinking about that the other day. But we're going to wrap it up for now.
We're going to wrap it up.
And we'll be back soon with another episode. Make sure to check out the website for everything we were talking about. Links, background information.
Click, subscribe.
Share with your other friends in Alaska.
Links, website. Words, TikTok, Instagram,
Twitter.
We're there. Come find us. All right. We'll see you guys next week.